Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to the local news. I am Tommy Johnagin,
And I am Alex Stone.
and this is the news that won't make you sad unless Alex uses the wrong microphone and you have to record it at 8:30 in the morning on a Monday.
Why you gotta
We
bring up old
find
shit?
stories from across the globe and around the country and haven't had our coffee yet. How
I
you
had
doing,
I
buddy?
I got I got coffee. I set an alarm for this. I went and I got coffee. I mean, I'm a new guy. I'm a whole morning guy.
Yeah,
You gr-
well,
I
I'm
wish that
starting to
the
think I'm starting to think things in the morning are a little bit easier over there without two kids.
no, I've never heard that. I
You
don't know why
think
that
they're
would
the
be.
same hard?
I think they're probably equal. All things are equal in the morning.
All right.
Here's when I wish that I the audio wasn't fucked up from last week because I wish that we didn't have to do it again. I mean, look, I'm having a great time so far, but what I really wish is that I could juxtapose your energy from that episode on this episode because in that episode you came in hotter than you've ever come in, drunk from a children's birthday party, and then this is when you're just a little bit groggy,
Yeah.
rolling out of bed.
Is any of that stuff usable?
I mean, maybe like it's
I
not
mean,
great. That's why we're here. But
but I wasn't
you were great,
off
clear,
mic.
clear as day. I
Not
was
great,
going
but
through AirPods. I sounded like I was on the phone, and then a little
uh
roboty at times. Not ideal, not the standard that we've come to set for the
yeah.
pod. Just a
But we
yawn.
gotta
I mean,
figure it out.
you are in it. What
um
what what time
I
did you go to
watched
bed
Band of
last night?
Brothers last night. And not even
Okay,
late, I don't think. We had a couple of friends over last night.
couple
Jessica and
pals.
Farhan
Oh
uh
wow.
came over, and then they did nobody stayed late. I don't think we stayed up late. The girls were in bed by 8:30. I watched a little bit of Band of Brothers. It's picking up down there. I think I'm nearing the end of the show, and they're pedal to the metal
How much?
on
How
this
many
20-year-old war show.
are there? It is a mini series, so it's a
Yeah,
miniature series. How many
yeah. All the
episodes
guys are
are there?
tiny.
They're really
Um,
small.
I don't know because what I do on these streaming things is I just kind of jump in and watch, because if you look down to see how many episodes,
Hmm.
sometimes there's things that happen that spoil it. Like a thumbnail will be like, "Well, that guy's not dead.
Right,
He's not the
right, right,
murderer.
right.
This show
Hmm.
sucks." Um, so I don't scroll through, but I think it's about 10.
Okay, okay. Hour long, hour and a half. These epic
I think they're
war.
clipping in at an hour, sometimes a little more.
Wow. Okay. Similar to the Squid
Um,
Game, which a lot of people are saying, best miniseries of all time. Also, I don't even know if it's a miniseries. There might be a season two. A lot of people don't know what's happening,
yeah, it's a
but
mini series that makes it. They don't make two seasons. Is that the
it's
deal?
just done. This is just a mini series, miniature
Ah,
series, one season. We're
series of
calling it.
miniatures. Well,
Well,
what do we got, buddy? Are we? What do we do on the stories? Are we doing all new stories?
yeah, I can retread the things we already talked about. Those are just in the wind. Those are just gone for forever.
The weirdest thing about it is we're two friends,
Yeah,
and we like to hang out, but we had not a hangout. We had a podcast. So we
right.
had just this hour-long, like, performative conversation with each other that will never
Right.
be seen or heard.
No. Which I think is what everyone who has ever started a podcast had before they started one, where they had a conversation. Not this, because this is different, but most podcasts are like, we should record this and put it out. Just put it out for everybody. But we're
People that don't have podcasts are like, we should record this and put it out. We say we should record this and not put it out.
not put it
We're
out.
the we're the reverse of the podcasts. But
That's what
this is
it's
out.
that's what it's about though, is doing things for you. This is horseshit. You should be creating
uh,
things because it makes you feel good, not other people.
and
But
we are
I gotta
we're
pull
putting
up.
this on YouTube and everything, so I had to put on a sweatshirt and make sure my hair was flat.
Putting it on the tube. I put a hat on. That's new for me. Probably get some of these on the gram. We got a lot going on. while you're there, head over to Andy Woodall Snack Show. Watch this, and
What are
then
you doing? Did he pay you?
also he no, he did not. But while I'm saying watch this, obviously watch this. But while you're there, you're on the platform. Watch Andy Woodall Snack Show. There might be some cross promotion at some point of
You know
this
what I
and that.
wonder if is there any version of your phone turn the Bluetooth off on your phone? I'm worried that that's what made your microphone fuck up.
All right. Well, I turned my
I
Bluetooth
don't
off
have
on my phone. I mean, it's a good idea, but I
Thank
wasn't
you.
connected, so we're safe. You want to
Sometimes
you
it
want
just automatically connects, and then when it disconnects, it connects back to your computer.
the app, the AirPods are good about that. I have another pair of Bluetooth headphones that if you disconnect it from one thing, you might as well throw them in the trash. I mean, connect it to a thing and then leave it that way,
Yeah.
and don't ever try and change it, or you'll
You
kill
just
yourself.
you just wiped your nose like a little boy.
With my sleeve,
Yeah,
like this.
it was a
You never
real
do that. You never go
over
back here.
dramatic.
You never go quick back of your hand, just one of those. How do you
I don't
push?
know.
How do you push your glasses up when they fall down your nose? What's your move
Here, I'm gonna
there?
try to be natural about it.
Uh-huh.
I think I just go straight down the
Just go
middle.
one finger. That's
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to bully you. That's like that's classic making fun of a guy who has glasses. It's just classic nerd. One
No, it's
finger.
fine.
I got a friend
It's good.
who curls
I
his
do it
finger.
with
He'll
what
go
if I do it
like
with my
that.
middle finger? That's a little
That's
tougher, right?
fun. That's very fun. Some people go side. That's a fun one side. I got a guy who curls his finger, pushes in the middle. What if you go straight from the back? You just pull both the stems. You ever see that guy? You got to use two hands
Just
for that.
press your head against a wall.
All right, let's talk turkey here. Let's get top stories. Top story number one. This story sent in to us by Cursed Lover. Now, here's the thing about Cursed Lover is I'm pretty sure it's Cursed Lover on Twitter, but the E's are threes. So that's how I'm
Okay.
interpreting it, is that the threes are supposed to be E's. Now,
All right.
this story is loading on my phone. I clicked on it. It is just loading. You ever have that where it just goes halfway? You got full bars, you got everything you could need,
Hit
and
the
then it's
reader
just,
mode.
huh?
I mean, this is off to. I mean,
Huh? What?
I don't even know what we're doing right now.
Oh, I got it. Hey, that's a good trick. When did you learn that reader mode trick? That's
I
a
don't
good
know if
trick.
this is what the podcast is about.
No, tell everyone about reader mode. You get a website going halfway, you hit reader mode, you get the words. Best friends split $3 million in winning lottery ticket.
Oh, this is right up our alley.
This is right up the old boulevard, okay? So they walked into a gas station for some lottery tickets and walked out millionaires. Two 19-year-old boys. Can you imagine winning $1.5 million when you're 19 years old? Someone just drops $1.5 million into your lap, 19 years old. What are you
Oh, it's
doing?
gone. I mean,
It's
it's
just
probably gone
gone.
before the story hit the paper.
What are you buying first? Put yourself 19-year-old Tommy
I mean,
Johnagin's
you buy
shoes.
a 19-year-old. I think probably buy a car that's way
Mm-hmm.
more expensive than you should buy,
Right. Now, are you gonna buy what?
and a house. I mean, you're buying a house. You're 19. You're
Yep.
probably I mean, maybe you don't drop out of college, but like you buy some house that you shouldn't buy and a car you shouldn't buy. Where do these guys live?
These guys live in Lebanon, Tennessee. You know where that is? You familiar?
Lebanon, Tennessee.
Lebanon,
That's what I've
Tennessee.
already said.
Wyatt
Yeah, they're gonna buy a
Close.
house. They're gonna buy a house, and they're gonna buy
Okay.
a truck. Buy a
Well, you
big
I
old
think buy a
souped up truck.
big truck. What do you
Yeah.
buy now? Do you buy? When I was 19 years old, I think the nicest car that I could imagine was like a Mustang. So, do you buy like a nice Mustang, or you go like a Lamborghini?
Are
You
you
gonna
talking to
go?
me or are you talking about these old
No, I'm talking
Lebanon
you.
boys?
I'm talking you
Me
sitting over
at
there,
19?
rural
I'm
Illinois.
trying to
Yep.
think of what I drove at 19. I had just started stand up. I'm pretty sure I had a Camaro, real nice looking Camaro. I
Camaro.
think I would have been some type of souped up Camaro in the moment. I think I would have gone like uh yeah, like a fancy Camaro.
My
No, you know
buddy
what?
had.
I take it back. I'm gonna go Corvette. I mean, that's what you get in the
Oh,
Midwest. You get
strong.
Corvette. I'd get a brand new
Yeah.
Corvette.
My buddy had a Camaro in high school that his dad got. It was like an old kind of beat up Camaro. It wasn't beat up. I should give more credit. It was It was a good car. But some of my fondest memories, kicking the T-tops out of that thing, riding around, listening
Oh,
to cranking
yeah.
some tunes. Oh, what a time.
I
What a
had
time.
T-tops, not just because it's first letter of my name.
Have
Um,
we have we have we talked about how California ruins you for being impressed by cars? Like where we live. I remember
yeah.
I used to tell people all the time. I saw a Lamborghini in the parking lot of a Skyline once when I was working there. Everyone came, they pressed their faces against the windows to look at it. It was I told people for months, and now I see one, once a week at least, and it's just
I
I
still
don't I
do
don't
it
care.
sometimes.
You'll still
I
press your
still
face.
point them out or press my face against the thing. I a lot
I
of
remember.
times they're so tinted. I'm it makes me very curious about who's driving them.
Right. I always assume that they're too conspicuous. I never assume that there's famous people. I always assume they're like rentals of someone in from another country that like I'm getting a Lamborghini, I'm driving around LA. They're so
Yeah.
conspicuous. I always assume someone famous is in a blacked out SUV. That's where I'm like,
Well,
who's
the
in there?
new blacked out Lamborghini SUV.
I never seen that one. I gotta get my eyes on it. So
Oh,
these guys
it's
they go into a quick trip. You ever been to a
QT.
quick trip? QT. And Thompson, which is Brandon Thompson, Wyatt Close. Brandon Thompson, he says, you know what I want to get some lottery tickets. Okay. And Wyatt, he goes, I don't know if I want to do this. But at the last minute, midnight hour, he says, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go all in. Let's get some lottery tickets. And they drive around to a couple places looking for the scratcher that they want. They win $3 million on a scratcher, my
Oh,
guy.
wow.
$3 million on a
What's
scratcher.
I want to know what specific one it was. These
Let me
guys got a
ask you.
problem already if they have a scratcher they're into.
Well, he says he played maybe four scratchers in his life. The guy that was on the fence about doing it. So I think he's just a guy who's got a friend that might have a problem. Is what I'll say. Um, Let me ask you this: you're a guy who's on record as saying you have a very strict view of how lottery winnings will be split up with
Yeah.
friends, right? Let's say
Mhm.
you and I, we're 19 years old. Okay, we're cruising around Camaro. The T tops are out. We got some tunes cranked. All right. You say to me, you go, I'm driving. This is my Camaro, by the way. This is mine. I worked hard, two jobs. I paid for it.
I don't do well in the passenger seat.
Well, you're in it. You're in it. You're along for the ride, right? And you go, hey, man, you know what? Crazy day. I'd love to go pick up some scratchers, buy some lottery tickets. And you're like, I got a specific one I want. We go to I'll call it six gas stations, six different gas stations all over town. Every corner of the town, we hit all the gas stations in the town, right? I drive you all day long. You buy the scratcher. But let me say this I did drive you all day long to six gas stations. You win the lottery, you win $3 million. Of that winnings, what are you giving to me? Guy that drove
How
you
much
around all day.
did you pay for the scratcher?
I didn't pay anything for the scratcher, but
Oh, yeah.
I drove you to six gas stations.
I I take care
Six
of you a little
different
bit.
gas. A little bit gas money puts fill up the tank.
I think you get maybe 100K plus some gas money.
100K plus. The gas money seems insulting at that point. I think you just give me a flat 100K. I don't think you kick in
Here's
a little.
100,000, $16.
Yeah, I think you just go flat 100K. So they win. They win $3 million, and Wyatt, your boy Wyatt here, he's already got a CPA. He's helping him make some wise financial decisions. He's investing it. It doesn't talk about what Brandon's
Oh,
doing, but Wyatt, he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's gonna make this money last a little bit. We win the money. How about this scenario? We win the money, right? We go in on the scratcher together, me and you, split
yeah.
it 50-50. We win
That's the
$3
best
million.
way.
dollars. We win. But what we cannot agree on is whether to take the lump sum or the stipend over time. What happens there if we can't? Like, do you think we'd have to go to court? What do we do?
Huh. I mean, I don't think so because I feel like I'm signing the back of the ticket and just going against your wishes.
What?
If I'm being
but
honest, we can't fuck around here.
but then I feel like we end up in court for sure. Do you think they could split
Yeah,
it
but at
up where
least
they
I got
give?
that money.
Do you think they give you the lump sum and they'll give me the stipend? Would they do that for us?
I don't
I'm
think
asking
so.
you
You
like
don't.
you
You want
work
the
for the
lump
lottery.
sum.
Right, but I'm saying we can't agree in this scenario. I'm a
Well, I'm
guy
saying
who's
you're
like,
wrong.
I don't trust
I don't
myself,
even. We
is
got
what
to
I'm
talk
saying.
about this before we buy the tickets. You got
I'm
to go
saying
lump sum.
I don't. If you give me that lump sum, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy a big truck and a lot of cocaine. That's what I'm gonna
Do you
do. Is it?
know the grand prize for America's Got Talent is $1 million?
I did not know that. No.
It's $1 million if you win
Uh
a
huh.
America's Got Talent, right? That's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the options for that $1 million? It's $25,000 a year for 40 years,
Okay.
or you can take a lump sum payment of like around $300,000.
I. What do you do? Because I think I'm gonna take 25 for 40 years.
No, you
I
take
think
the
I'm gonna
lump
do it.
sum.
Nah, I'm gonna
Why
take
would
25 for 30 years.
25 for 40 years?
40 years. Yeah, I'll take 25 for 40 years.
Do
You
you
give me
think
25 for 40 years.
$25,000 from the years 81 to 91 in your life
That's
will
great.
be
That's
more
what I need the
beneficial
most.
than 300,000 now? No, you take
No,
it
the peace
now.
of mind. I just always knowing every year I got 25. I'm the fucking Bobby Bonilla of America's Got Talent. That
But
seems
it's only
great.
25 grand, which is not
Yeah,
only it's not nothing, but it's not enough to
right.
forego a $300,000 lump sum.
But it feels like more to me. And I know that we could probably break down the math and maybe it's not, but it just feels like to know every year the peace of mind it would bring me.
It's
Even though
bird
it's
in the
only
hand.
25, I'm saying it just, I feel like it takes a lot of pressure off your life to just know no matter what happens, you got $25,000 coming. You give me $300,000, I might buy some stuff and then it's gone in like 4 to 5 years.
It's twelve years before you reach the amount of the lump sum. So if you just took the lump sum and
Hmm.
spent 25 grand and made interest off of it, I mean, there's math there.
Look, I'm
I don't
just
know it,
saying,
but there's
I
math.
l- I like the peace of mind of just knowing January 1st. Also, it's my birthday, you know what I mean? Every year on my
It's a
birthday,
crazy thing
I'm
to me.
getting a
It
gift.
makes me
I'm putting a
worried
box.
about you that you would choose $25,000 a year for 40 years.
It's a conservative approach, I admit, but it just feels nice to know that.
But what couldn't you do something with $300,000 today? Couldn't you
Probably,
use
yeah.
$300,000?
Everyone could use 300. Find me the guy that couldn't use. Bring me Jeff Bezos on this podcast. But I'm telling you,
Maybe Jeff
it's
Bezos gives us $300,000.
those numbers are also they're too close. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they would need to be further apart to make this a more difficult, a more dramatic choice. You
Well,
know what
the
I'm
other thing
saying?
that you take the 300,000 is because I don't know what's going to happen if you could die tomorrow, NBC could explode, stocks could belly up like
Uh-huh.
$25,000. That's the other thing is I doubt that they adjust for inflation. So imagine what $25,000 meant 30 years ago and what it
Right.
means today. It's literally less valuable. Plus, they're just sitting on that $1 million making all the interest on it.
Yeah, but I got that. I got. Can you imagine getting a check for $25,000? I mean, just
Could you
looking
imagine
at it
getting a check for
every year.
$25,000 when it doesn't matter when it's not as valuable as it is now?
Yeah, but you got that store. You go to the bank. They go, "Oh, what's this?" And you go, "Well, I actually won. I'm good at juggling
Yeah, do you want your $25,000 or do you just want
children."
it in a case of water?
Huh? Okay. Are you saying because that's where we'll be at in
Yeah,
40 years? I
we
don't
got to
know.
start buying up cases of water.
I'm saying I'm going to get a lawyer on retainer. What's clear to me is that we're far enough apart already that whenever we do eventually go in on a scratcher
You know what?
together,
We
we
have
got to
gone
be
in
in
on
front of
lottery
this.
tickets before. I thought
Uh
we were
huh.
on the same page that it is always the lump sum.
Well, I'm telling you,
This
when we
may be
get
why
into
we've never won.
this $1 million winning, we can go. We'll talk lump sum here, but if I win America's Got Talent, it's because I got a weird talent. You know what I mean? And who knows how my
Comedians have
career
come
is
in
going?
second.
How my career is going to go? But yeah, what if I'm the guy that I can pop and lock real good, and eventually
Josh
people
Blue
just
just finished third.
move
There's
away?
been multiple comedians finish second. So
Who
it's
won?
bound for
Spoil
a
it.
comedian to win.
Who won? Spoil it for
The
us. Who
worst.
won?
This is the worst. I don't even remember his name. It's the worst winner since we've been watching the show. Some annoying magician.
A magician?
One of these annoying magicians that make it about like the story. He like
Oh,
his
you hate
voice
that.
cracks as he's telling a
Yeah.
story. He's like, the reason I got into magic is that I just wanted to, is this your card? It's just the worst. And
Yeah.
his thing was especially dirty because
Uh-huh.
they're like, he's like, tells the story. I adopted my son, and he's breaking down in tears, and all of a sudden he pulls a fucking ball out of a bucket. And
Uh-huh.
then the next episode, he's like, and then the adoption agency called, and they said, "Do you want to adopt his brother?" And I said, "Our family is now complete, and here's a
Uh-huh.
scarf."
Uh-huh.
And then it goes in, and then I think at the end they just kind of in the finale drop out that the reason he adopted these kids was that he had a baby and that baby passed away, which is very sad. But
Uh-huh.
like he intentionally saved the dead baby for the finale. Like he
Oh, he's
strung
sad on
out
it.
these
Yeah.
tragedies in a very
Uh-huh.
calculated way, and I found it to be gross. And
But
he's got a weird vibe about him.
you're a guy who just you don't like magician. You're a guy who in life you don't like to be tricked. You never like to feel like someone's getting something
I
over on
don't
you,
know.
which
No,
that's all that
don't put this
magic
in.
is.
This is, I mean, we're gonna
You
need a couples therapist here because you're saying
you
one thing that I don't think is true. I don't like it when they're that type of guy. I don't mind a guy that does a little close-up magic. I love a guy that can pull a card out of a thing and show me it's
Yeah.
like, "That is you son of a bitch. How'd you do it?"
Right.
I love that. What I don't like is this,
A
the
showman. You know, like a showman.
emotional. No, I loved The Greatest Showman. The emotional thing that they add in that's always
Uh-huh.
fake, and then any version of, like, it seems like they want you to think they're actually magical. That it's not a trick. Like a close-up
That's
magician feels like they're saying, like, "How cool is this trick?" And this guy
right.
is like, "By God, I've been empowered."
I tried to because Maura loves magic. She's a huge magic gal. We've gone to the Magic Castle a handful of times here for her birthday and just for a fun event. She loves it, right? And every time I go, I have a great time, but I feel like the awe is short lived. And I tried to write about it once where I think that magic was more impressive when we didn't know if magic was real or not. You know what I mean? Where it's like there was a time where you're like, this person might be a witch, and now you just know that you're being tricked,
Yeah.
and it kind of takes the allure, the shine off of it a little bit, because
Yeah, of course.
you go wow, and then you go, how did you do that? And it's just like, how'd you trick me? Not like, were you born from a bolt of lightning? There's no, other thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, imagine getting on a plane when you had no idea. I still have no idea how they work, so maybe this isn't a great example,
Yeah.
but if you're on one of those first flights, it's
Hmm.
your whole time you're thinking you're gonna die, and then you get and you're like, "Well, that was exciting." And then
Yeah.
now you get on a plane, it's not really exciting.
The
Also,
world is
there's
magic.
still
I'm
magicians that want you to think that they're real, that they want you to think they're born of witch DNA or something.
They might be. I mean,
I don't
the
know if
world
you guys can smell, on the other end of this podcast, but
uh-huh.
Heather is making pancakes or some shit downstairs just without
Just
me.
on a
I'm
whim?
smelling them. 'Em. They've worked their way up here.
Pancake or a cinnamon roll? Is there anything better? What do you what anything better than
She would
waking up
make a
to the
cinnamon roll.
smell of a cinnamon roll? Is there a
I would
thing better to wake
love
up to?
I would love a cinnamon roll right now. I
God, that's the
haven't had
best.
coffee, I haven't had any food, which I don't generally eat breakfast anyway, but, most importantly, I forgot to brush my teeth, so I hope you guys can't smell. I'm gonna have to Clorox this microphone.
Uh, why didn't you have coffee? I feel like that was,
Well, here's the
the
thing is
jumping off
I'm
point for
the
doing this this early
mornings
in the morning.
the mornings are school and kid, and it's like so
Mhm.
much of getting the kids, making them breakfast and then making their lunches. It's like you gotta carve in a moment that you can start a pot of coffee, and then
Mhm.
another separate moment that you can pour it into a cup. Now also the schools, you have to do these passes on your phone that I forget all the time now, where it's like you got to go in and you got to go, no, we don't have any symptoms. No, we
Like
haven't
a
been around anybody
checklist.
with COVID. And then you get a
Yeah.
barcode, which I think would be great if people were honest.
Uh-huh.
We were honest. One day Everett had a little thing, and I said, "Hey, she's got a symptom here," and they say, "Well, you probably shouldn't come to school." And I'm like, I was fucking wasn't planning on it. I'm just talking to the app, but
We
mornings are
went
busy. Is my point.
we went to an event at the Hollywood Bowl where everyone had to be vaccinated or show proof of a negative test. And so
Yeah.
we got the COVID thing, the vaccine
What was
thing
the
on our
bowl
phone.
thing?
It was a documentary about Dave Chappelle where he recorded all
Right, right,
of
right.
the shows he did at his farm in Yellow
Uh-huh.
Springs, and they made a doc about it. It's
Is
good.
Letterman in it?
Letterman's in a little bit.
Who'd you go with?
With Mora, just Mora and I. He was there.
I've never been to the bowl. I
I'd
guess
never
it's
been to the
probably
bowl
because I
either. My
don't get
first time.
invited.
Snoop Dogg performed. Snoop Dogg did 3 songs. That was fun. But everyone had to be vaccinated. You had to show proof of vaccination or a negative test, right? So I'm like, oh, this feels good. This feels fun. And I came in with some peace of mind. And then just how quickly they just glance at your thing. I'm like, well, that
Oh,
doesn't make me feel good. I thought you'd scan a thing. The whole thing is a barcode. I thought have a little thing. They just
yeah,
kind
I
of
had
go,
that
uh
at
huh, uh
the
huh, uh huh.
Staples Center. We went to a what was it? Oh, we went to a wedding. Heather and I
Yeah.
went to a wedding, and when we got there, we had our masks on, and so this is it's a fancy wedding. It has people kind of walking around with meatballs on sticks and stuff, and
Uh huh.
got a little open bar. Um,
Yeah.
and the gal at the front goes, "Hey, you can take your masks off. All guests are confirmed to be vaccinated." And I was like, "Well, this is amazing." We
Uh
take our
huh.
masks off. We walk inside. We're walking around, and then about like 2 minutes later, I was like, "No one asked me." Like I
Yeah.
was, I'm a
Uh huh.
guest, and I gave no proof of vaccination, so I
Right.
don't know where that came from. Would I fell through the cracks or whatever? But it was outside, and everybody felt safe, and we danced and drank and got into a big fight and came home.
You did. You checked every wedding box, every everything you can do. Classic wedding bingo. You guys won. Let me get into top story number 2 here, and ask if you heard about this. Billionaire looks to Arizona for proposed sustainable city. You seen this? You heard about this? Am
No,
I? No. So there's a fella, Mark Lore. You seen him? You heard about him? He's a billionaire.
no. Why don't we get him on?
He he was the CEO of Walmart U.S. e-commerce, the founder of Diapers.com.
Oh, we used
He
diapers.com a bunch
he just
in the
purchased the
back in the
Minnesota
days.
Timberwolves and the Minnesota Lynx with his good pal and business partner Alex Rodriguez. That's why I thought maybe you had heard of this gentleman. But he is envisioning building a sustainable city with a new society that will eventually, ultimately, house 5 million people in 40 years. But it'll start with 50,000 people, and then it'll grow by an additional 50,000 people in, I think, 5 years. The ground has not been broken on it, but
Is it a
he
dome?
no, it's just a city where it will be planned from the beginning with it'll be green, there'll be autonomous vehicles, public transportation.
Is there
Uh
walls around it?
no, there's no wall. It's just like a city. It's just a new city but planned for a
So how
new
are they
age.
how are they protected from the heat of Arizona that's going to keep getting hotter cuz the world
Right?
is trying to kill us all, and
Mhm.
b the pollution that
Yep.
exists that they're all breathing in,
Right.
the shit that's in the water that's
Right.
just in the ground from these corporations and like it seems like he's just building a town. I don't know. I don't understand what's specific. Then it's also a bit worrisome to me that he's starting with a specific number and he's growing to a specific number. It does not seem like an all or welcome place.
Well, yeah. I guess I don't know how you come to. I guess you have to buy one of the 50,000 lots or whatever to get in. But I don't know if there's like an application process. I don't. It doesn't get into all that because it's still kind of theoretical. He's looking at Arizona, Nevada, Utah,
Yeah.
Idaho, and Texas. So it's not necessarily going to be Arizona, but
You're
Arizona
fucking you live
seems to
there
be the
for
front
2
runner.
weeks before he
Uh
comes and says it's part of the deal is he gets to fuck your wife. There's just
huh.
something extra weird about this because he's not doing
Yeah.
anything actually real
Uh huh.
like he's not we've got we're not we're we're making water in a dome, and we're going to be exposed to the pollutions of this. Like, there's nothing. He's just kind of he's looking for a plot of land where he can fuck everybody's wife.
He just walks by, he hands you a copy of Braveheart and goes, welcome to the neighborhood. Just maybe watch that when you get a second.
Yeah.
I'll be
Hey,
around.
I don't know if you read the fine print, but I'd like to see you and your neighbor fight to the death. So that's
So
how we grow here.
that's at 2. So whenever you're ready. But he says another element of it is, in addition to innovative urban design, the project also promises transparent governance and what it calls a new model for society, taking its name from the ancient Greek word telos, a term used by the philosopher Aristotle to describe an inherent or higher purpose. The city would allow residents to participate in the decision-making and budgeting process. A community endowment will meanwhile offer residents shared ownership of the land. Now, does any of that sound appealing
What
to
he
you?
just described was the fucking way our government is supposed to work.
Uh-huh. Well, he's
It's
starting from
not.
scratch. He's saying it's broke. He's saying, hey,
Yeah.
it's broke. We got to fix it. So he's making
Hey,
a new
what we're
one.
gonna do is we're gonna
Uh-huh.
let the people have a say in the way things work.
What this city is
It's
built
so
on is the idea that no one will ever disagree. It's like, well, we'll
yeah.
start over and everyone will feel the same way about everything, and then it will be fine. So I'd like to go to this place if they ever get it up and running,
It's
just to
one of
see
the most billionaire ideas ever.
the public transport. I'd like to go. You ever watch these movies with these future cities and there's cars flying around and you get into a tube and it zips you away and then
I'd like to be
the
in a tube.
landscape. I'd like to go to one of those places and look around. That seems fun, but I don't know. The city, it seems a lot. We've been listening to a lot of cult podcasts. This just feels like I'm walking into a cult of some kind.
It feels very culty.
Feels like I'm just
What
getting up
was the thing
walking
after he
straight
said the
into a cult.
transparent government? There was something else.
That there'll be a community endowment, and
Yeah.
everyone will have shared ownership of the land that the city is built on. So, yeah, I mean, again, I'd love to go visit. They put out some artist renderings of the city, and it looks very futuristic and cool and funky. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go live there. Also, yeah, you ever get into something and you're like really excited about it, and then you meet the other people who are also into it, and you're like, I don't want to be into this anymore. You know what I mean? Where I feel
Yeah.
like that would be this, where you get there and you're like, I don't want to be living with these assholes. Where these people I just feel
This
like
is
everyone
like
else would suck.
this is basically like moving to a golf course, country club.
Uh, or retirement community. Just like a weird retirement community. Oh, big yawn. You're on camera. People can see how bored you are by what you're doing.
I'm not bored. I'm tired.
You want to go to crime time?
Crime time.
This one also, it loaded. Was good, but now I'm going to go to reader mode here. Metro Nashville. Tennessee heavy episode. Metro Nashville files lawsuit to shut down hot tub on wheels. So there is it's not a party bus. It's not, it's like a party flatbed
Mm-hmm.
that drives around Nashville. And what it
Mm-hmm.
is it is a hot tub on wheels. And
Yeah.
so you can
I
rent it
think I
out.
got it. Oh, I think I
You
got
get
it
in
way
there.
before you thought I got it. I
So a hot
fully
tub is
understood what it was.
like a small it's a bigger bathtub or a small
Yeah.
pool, however you want to
Yeah.
look at it. And the
Mm-hmm.
water is hot. Sometimes there's bubbles, and you get in there, you just kind of chill, you hang out. They put this on wheels and they
Yeah,
drive it
I
around
had fully understood
the
that
city.
way
So you
before
get it.
this part.
So
Yeah.
they drive it around the
Yeah, I get it.
city, and
The hot
you go
tub,
around
right?
Nashville, the hot tub. Nashville, big party town. And so you ever go around, you see those little bicycles? I don't know. I have to
Yeah,
keep
where
explaining to you
everybody's
what it is.
pedaling.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
like that, but you don't pedal.
but you're at a
Um,
bar.
so for some reason, the city is trying to shut this one down. They're saying this is not legal. And the way that they are trying to shut it down is they are saying that the founders, the owners of this business, do not have the permit to run a public pool. So there's like a specific permit
Huh.
you have to run a public pool. And so they're saying you have to get that permit. You don't have that permit. We are shutting you down. You're off the streets. We're taking your wheels. But the hot tub guy is saying there is a minimum gallon requirement you have to meet to be defined as a pool, and I do not meet that. I should be omitted from this
Oh, we know whose side I'm on.
permit situation. But they are saying that doesn't qualify here. So it's a whole battle to try and get this hot tub off the streets. Would you ever do this? Is there any version of you
No,
getting into a
this is
hot tub on
insane.
wheels?
I mean,
What
I
if
think it's just they should shut it down for being a dumb idea, but I think the guy should be able to do what he wants.
I don't think it's a dumb idea. In a place where it is, I think it's a great idea. I mean, they're probably making money hand over fist. I don't
Can
know
you
how much
imagine
money
just getting rear-ended in a hot tub? Just
that does
sloshing
seem.
around, you're fucking bashing your face on some gal's head.
Mhm.
It sounds horrible.
You know what? As I talk it out, I guess what's fun
We're
about
just
those like
acting like
little
speed bumps don't exist.
those little bicycle things is you can drink on them and you go from bar to bar. But in a hot tub, you can, you can't get out
Going
and go
everywhere all
in.
wet.
Yeah, just dripping into each bar. You got
You're
to go
just
in without your shirt on.
standing in your fucking wet jeans and dress shirt. You got your cowboy boots on, a puddle of water, and the
Yeah.
guy next to you is just like, "Do you guys do the hot tub truck? Where are you coming from?
How'd you
Is it
guess?
raining outside?"
So you got people in their clothes. I had them going into the bars
Yeah.
and like with no no shirt
Well, I
on,
thought
just
if
in
they
a
were bar
bathing suit.
hopping, they're just kind of in the boots and all.
I guess it's no shirt, no shoes, no
Because what
service.
it is, to that point, it's like it's just a lap around town in a hot tub. Also,
Yeah.
where am I? I'm getting in a flatbed truck. Like, where do I dry off? Where do I? How does this end? Sad? That's what I think.
Probably end sad because that's just the other thing about Nashville. Nashville is great; it's a real fun time, but all the bars are next to each other. It's just one road, really. So you just got to
Yeah,
go up and down that road, and then you got to drive to wherever they park this fucking hot tub at, and you get out in under a street
and
light. Go sit in your car wet. Is there anything worse than sitting down in your car all wet? That's a bad
it
scene.
seems like things didn't go the way you planned.
No. It seems like it's real fun because I imagine you drive down that street in a hot tub. Everyone's fucking the first time you go down that street in a hot tub, no one's ever seen that before. Everyone's looking at you, they're throwing you stuff, and you're the biggest hit
Yeah,
in town. Day
I
two, not as cool.
and it's also very cold a lot of the year there.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
So then, I
seasonal
mean, you're in there.
seasonal business.
It's a hot tub, so maybe you're just in there warm and the steam's rolling off, and it actually looks cooler.
Oh, yeah. That might be. Yeah, it might be better in the wintertime. Because
Yeah,
who's out there? You're not pedaling something in the wintertime. You can't do that. You can't pedal that thing through the snow, but you can drive a truck through the snow. I'm back on board. This is a year-round business. All right. You want to go to local sex?
sure.
Guy who repeatedly keeps telling me he's not bored with the proceedings and then yawns. That's how
I'm not. Now
defeated.
you've said
All
it too
right.
much. People are gonna hate it.
No, 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 no. This one, we go to, this is a hometown story for us. We go to Los Angeles, California here.
Hey,
Sheriff's deputy fired for allegedly having sex at Universal Studios. Now,
whoa!
man, I can't believe you didn't finish that yourself. This is how they found out. He's having a little romp with a gal, leaves his mic on, leaves his
Is
little
he on
walkie-talkie
duty?
on. He's on duty. He leaves a little. I don't know if
Oh,
it's like it got wedged up on a wall, but
yeah.
he clicks his
She's grabbing it.
walkie-talkie button, and they're hearing her moaning and groaning, and apparently repeatedly they kept having to be like, "Hey, hey, letting you know you're got a hot mic. You're live. You are live on air." But I don't know if it's because he was doing something, they didn't hear him, or if his thing's
Yeah.
pressed, he can't hear what you're saying. But they reviewed it, and he was at Universal Studios on the lot somehow, where they don't know for sure, but they are pretty positive that he had sex in or near the Bates Motel part of the tour. You familiar with the
What the? I don't know
Universal
that
Studios
part. I
tour?
haven't been in a minute. Is it
Now
by the
you gotta go.
Minions?
I mean, there's minions all over that fucking place, but
Who did he bang there? Did he bang
it's
a,
just
a studio actor or
we don't have the identity of the gal, but it could have been a tour guide, it could have been someone who just worked on the lot. I imagine Universal Studios, I believe they have their own security, So my guess in real time as we're talking this out is that he perhaps was dating someone on the lot,
Mhm.
drove on, got on the lot, met there to have they snuck away. Because let's go over here, let's have sex. And that's how they got busted. I don't know why he would be there otherwise, you know?
I mean, it's a theme park. I mean, I bet it happens often, but that would not be my jam.
Where would you you're on the Universal Studios tour with your best gal, right? You fall off the bus, you know what I mean? Now you're just on the
Mhm.
Universal Studios backlot, okay? Where do you two steal away? Where do
I
you
don't
go? You go
know.
Jaws, War of the Worlds, that plane crash, just back amongst the chaos. Bates
I
Motel
don't know it well enough. I
makes
would like
sense.
to go somewhere that is, private enough that some kid's not gonna roll around the corner in a minion hat.
Let me give you the hits. Okay, you got Jaws. You go across the water. Jaws comes out. He grabs you. Right. You got Bates Motel. That's classic. You got the Psycho House. You got War of the
I'll
Worlds
just go
plane
in there.
crash.
I'll just go in
No,
that
hold on.
house.
Let me finish because this is where I think you're going to want to spend a little more time. You got the town square from Back to the Future. You got the clock tower. I say you
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
make your way into that clock tower. See if lightning can strike twice.
I'll do that.
I
Alright.
said get in there. There you go.
We'll do a little, Marty McFly action.
Mm-hmm. So that's local
Alright.
sex. Local for us, first time. Sex, it's local. I knocked it out
You
of the
had
park.
everything. You did it. You really did it. There was
Mm-hmm.
one, another cop. There was a video on Twitter. You can't see, or I didn't see anything. I was watching, I was supposed to be working, but,
Uh-huh.
it's like someone outside of his car with this camera pointing it in, and the dude's just banging somebody in the back seat of his cop car
In
in
the
broad daylight, just parked.
Is it real? I feel like
Yeah, it's real.
that's
Risk
real.
it. This guy's risking it for the biscuit.
That's crazy. I gotta find that. I gotta throw
Yeah,
on private browsing, do a little deep dive here, see if
do a
they're
little
telling the truth.
private browse. All right. Well, hopefully this one worked. Send us your stories to Local News Pod. We had some great ones last episode that didn't get released, but
We
I
enjoyed
think
talking about them.
we
So
could have shouted those names out of those people, but we forgot.
I can do it
Uh,
real quick if you want to just vamp for just tell everyone where
oh,
to
you
find
have
the
the names? Well,
things.
here comes
Yeah,
the
because
thing.
I
I
email
also liked a
myself.
couple of those stories. Maybe we do revisit it when we've forgotten about them. Um, check out that YouTube page. Check out that Instagram page. I'm about to check out of this if Alex doesn't find these names real quick.
Um,
And that
hold on.
everybody's
He
done. People
no,
are
yeah,
sitting in their car waiting to finish.
I can't find him. I
Chris
can't.
Fournier was one of them.
Chris Fernier was one.
Fournier.
Hold on. Here it comes. Derek Schiller, Kevin Bongart, Chris Fernier, Cursed Love. There you go. Those are all
Boom.
the
There were
people.
more of them, but you just picked one story. Just
Those
let's
were
get
the
out of here.
ones.
I gotta go to bed.
All
Or
right.
wait, it's work. Gotta get in the
Go to
shower.
bed. No, can I
Haven't
tell you,
showered for
having
like 3 days.
having talked to you for 45 minutes, you should probably take a little quick snooze before you get back in there. Get back to work. Take a little nap.
All right, you gotta push the button. See ya.
Okay. Bye.